Hey guys, so I managed to find a bit of news the other day which I found particularly interesting. It's probably not going to be that interesting to the vast majority of people, but I guess me being a tech head, I found it quite interesting. And that's some European Union legislation that is attempting to standardize the electrical supply to mobile devices. So anyone that's owned a number of mobile phones or tablets or whatever in the past will know that they come with a variety of power adapters, with a wide range of various fittings and so forth. And a lot of these are proprietary as well. So whenever you buy a new mobile phone, you obviously have to buy the new charger that goes with it. Now, some devices like the Google Nexus 5, the Google Nexus 7, they come with a power adapter that is USB based. So for example, my Nexus 7 has a USB adapter which plugs into the wall, and it has a USB to micro USB cable that goes from the adapter that plugs directly into the wall straight into the tablet, and it charges that way. That cable can also be plugged into my computer so that I can transfer files across. Now, what the European legislation aims to do is standardize the power supply to every single mobile device you can get. And that makes a lot of sense pretty much across the board, doesn't it? I mean, if there was one type of charger for every kind of tablet, not only would that make life just a lot easier for the consumer, but it would also mean that there'd be a massive reduction in electrical waste as well, which is particularly difficult to and energy intensive to recycle. Now, just to put that into perspective, the power supply to desktop PCs has been standardized in the way that the European Union hopes to standardize this for decades now. For example, if you look around the back of your desktop computer, you will notice that what is probably plugged into it is a 3-point electrical kettle lead, is what they're commonly referred to as. I forget their exact proper technical name, but it's called a kettle lead because back when kettles weren't as fancy as they are today, they all took a standard lead, which was the very same one that goes into the back of your desktop PC. And for as long as I have been involved with computers, and as long as anyone I know has been involved with computers, the standard power supply to a desktop PC is the kettle leads. So what is effectively going to happen is that the same thing is going to be applied to mobile devices. Now, from what I've understood, and this is certainly not set in stone, is that the new power supply to portable devices that the European Union want to standardize is going to be USB based. It's probably going to be the very same type of power supply that is used by the Google Nexus 5 and the Google Nexus 7, which is basically being powered through the micro USB, which is just it's a general USB interface. I mean, the micro USB, the mini USB, and the USB, they are all just different plugs for the same interface effectively. Now, what I would like to see, rather than perhaps the micro USB that you see the Google Nexus 5 and the Google Nexus 7 use, is perhaps, I believe it's called the USB-C. It's not out yet, but it's the type of USB which is actually quite compact, but you guys will probably have heard of it because it's the type of plug and socket, which means that you can plug a USB in either way. You don't have that horrible sort of issue where you plug in a USB and it's facing the wrong way, so you turn it upside down, you plug it in, and then maybe it might not work that way, you turn it up, and we've all had that problem with the USB. Now with USB-C, it aims to just alleviate that by having a USB interface that can be plugged in either way, which is great, and I would love for that to be the standard power supply. But I mean, a micro USB or any kind of USB interface would be a great standard anyway, and it would be a great standard because it's an open interface. Now, as you guys know, of course, I do like to get involved with things like current affairs and politics and the like, and there is a political edge to this which really, really fascinates me, and that's the idea of proprietary hardware manufacturers. For example, with a lot of mobile phones and mobile phone companies and mobile phone manufacturers, is that they actually make a lot of money developing mobile phone chargers because they have the monopoly on it. They are the only company that can actually issue the rights for manufacturers to make their mobile phone chargers, and that effectively gives them a corner of the market which they hold captive. Now, if every single mobile device had to use this one specific standard interface to charge the device, that means that just about any manufacturer that has the ability to, that wants to get into the marketplace, wants to get into that particular kind of competition, can. And it means that small-time manufacturers actually have a shot at being able to produce something really, really worthwhile, instead of having this horrible scrabble for licenses on who has the rights to produce this and who has the rights to produce that, which usually just means that either some sweatshop in China gets the rights to something because they can make something the cheapest, or that it goes to insanely large corporations that have, you know, friends in the right places. And it would be nice to diversify the competition here and diversify the marketplace by allowing all kinds of manufacturers to actually develop for just about any kind of mobile device that you can imagine. And that would be great, and that would mean that the consumer would have a lot more power, because it means that we can actually decide on what kind of businesses we want to support for various different things. And like I say, there's still the environmental positive in the sense that one charger, for example, won't be... it'll have more value. Each charger will have more value, because if you have a mobile phone that you wish to upgrade, you don't have to upgrade it and the charger, or you don't have to switch the charger if you want to switch to a different brand or whatever. You can use that same charger, has its value in its own right as a tool, rather than its value being attached to the thing that it's supposed to charge. So anyway, guys, that's just a few thoughts on it. I know that it's probably not exactly the sexiest subject to talk about, but it's something that I guess I've been thinking quite a lot, and maybe that's possibly because it blends two things which I spend a lot of time doing: politicking and technologying. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for listening and watching. Until next time, I've been Chris Ware, and you've been awesome. Take care now.